Hey everybody, Chris here on a Friday night, and what do we have here? We have Dogecoin, 777. That's right, 7.77 cents. When I look at the charts and I see up to the right, that's what I like to see. Up to the right. That means we're trading up. Green in the crypto markets today. We'll talk about what's going on in stocks, a little bit about the Fed, talk more about Doge. And then, as promised, we're going to look at my prediction for Dogecoin in 2025. That's right, 2025. And we'll talk about why 2025, as well as just looking at the pricing and what others may be saying about the potential price of Dogecoin as well. Welcome, welcome. Let me get down here in the corner here, welcome you all in. And as we're talking about Doge on the live stream, some of you aren't here on a Friday night. You're out celebrating St. Patrick's Day, probably having fun. I was earlier, but I'm back here and I have a little beverage myself. So cheers to everyone. Hope you're enjoying your evening. I'll be taking little sips every now and then. Enjoying that. And what do we got going on? What do we got going on? If you're watching this on the video replay, because all of my live streams become videos on my channel, that means you didn't get to ask questions, you didn't get to leave comments in the chat, but you can always leave comments below, and I always read those. So let me know your thoughts of what you're thinking, what you think I'm thinking too. Give me your response of what I'm doing. I always like to hear some feedback. Always like and subscribe as well. Gets my videos, my live streams out there to more people. As we get more people coming in, keeping it real, because that's what I do. So this isn't all rocket ships. Even though I had a little rocket ship on my thumbnail, it was just a little PR trying to get some people coming in to watch. But that's okay. We're having fun. But I do keep it real. That's why people watch me. So you can't complain about the price right now, because here we are with Dogecoin. It's going to be pushing back up towards 8 cents again, which is great for Doge. That's what we've been waiting for. Is the bear market over in the big scale of things? I think it is. I think we're past that, even though there's still a lot of things going on with inflation and high interest rates and the banks and all that. But we're talking cryptocurrency here. Yes, we're talking crypto, which is different than the banks. So let's get into it. Let me get into a few things we want to talk about. We have the FOMC meeting next week. Let me refresh this. It's the CME chart, the Fed Watch tool. And what are the odds next week that we're going to have 0 basis points or 25 basis points? When we looked at this last night, the 0 was at about 23%. And 25 basis points was up at like 77%. But look at this. Today, it's starting to even out a bit. So a lot more people thinking, the Fed may just pause. They may just pause. I'm still in the camp here that they're going to keep with the 25 basis points that they've been talking about, and still kind of fighting inflation a bit, and they think they may have a handle on the bank situation, although there was another article today I saw that there might be like 180 more banks of the small to middle size that may be having the same kind of challenges that Silicon Valley and Signature had. We'll see what comes of that next week, but that's next week. We're on a Friday night right now, so let's talk about Doge. And why did Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin pop today? Top cryptos have been trading higher most of the week as banks look riskier for deposits. Could people be taking their money out of the banks and putting them into crypto? I think so. Federal officials still haven't assured depositors that all their money is safe. We saw some clips of Janet Yellen talking to a Oklahoma state senator or representative on a committee, and he wanted to know what happens to the depositors of these small banks. They're not safe, but if you have all your deposits with the big banks, then you are safe. that going to drive people to take all their money out of the small banks and then put them all into the big banks? And of course, Janet Yellen couldn't really answer that question other than saying that it's kind of a case-by-case basis. It's the banks that kind of affect the markets more, which are the big banks. And it's just like, it was pretty bad. But this bounce that we have now may not last, but could play a role in the long-term thesis for crypto improving over time. That's right, because we're going to be talking about Dogecoin in 2025. So we're talking about crypto over time. So fallout from the banking collapses last week extended further into the regional banking sector, which has helped cryptocurrency values. Seems that banks collapsing makes the case for crypto more than any other event could have. If you recall, we were talking about Bitcoin being created after the 2008 banking crisis. And who would have thought that we'd be looking at another situation where banks in the United States are failing, and not just in the US, around the world as well. In Europe, we have banks on the brink of failing in Europe. It's crazy times, but that's why Satoshi made Bitcoin. That's why we have cryptocurrencies. And it looks like this may actually play out here. So we'll see how that goes. After working for months to undermine cryptocurrencies and keep banks from holding cryptos on their balance sheets, the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank have shown that crypto may not have been the most significant risk in banking. That's right. So as they were kept hammering on crypto, it was the banks themselves that were taking their money, putting it in these long-term treasury bonds, and they had such high percentages on those that as soon as the Fed raised rates higher than that, they were underwater. And being underwater meant they would have to sell those, what they could, for huge losses, billions of dollars of losses. The banks couldn't keep up, and they went under. So that's what we had. Depositors were saved for two of the banks. First Republic got an infusion. That's good. But that begs the question about how safe deposits above $250,000 are in the U.S. banking system outside of the systemically important banks. That's what Janet Yellen said. If they're systemically important, the government's going to bail them out. So one answer is cryptocurrencies. They can be held in self-custody through hardware or software wallets, the modern equivalent of putting cash under your mattress. And it seems that's where some investors are doing, especially today. Cryptos are up across the board. So that's what we've got. We've got green in the markets, in the crypto markets, but not in stocks. We had the Dow Jones down 384 points today. But what do we have in crypto? Green, green, green. Bitcoin at 27,700. A lot of green in the crypto market. So we'll be talking about some of these a little bit later as well, because I want to concentrate more on Dogecoin right now. Let's continue in this market, though, or on this article here, whether the current banking crisis makes cryptos more viable as a way to store value or money. That's not known yet, but traders are currently better than the blockchain could actually solve some of these risks. Keep in mind, crypto industry has survived the collapse of highly leveraged hedge fund, an exchange that was committing fraud, FTX. Crypto didn't die when those big things happened. Those would be extinction level events in banking, but Ethereum, Bitcoin, and even Dogecoin have held up. That's right. To be clear, crypto isn't ready to become the banking epicenter of the world yet, but there may be a more clear case for self-custody and digital assets playing a role in the economy than there was only a few weeks ago. The well-known cryptos are rising on that thesis. Is this sustainable? Regulators may come up with more permanent solutions for how to deal with bank runs. Also not sure cryptos that can handle a few transactions per second will ever be used on a widespread basis. We'll see about that. It's more likely that stablecoins on fast, cheap blockchains pose more of a challenge to traditional banks. That's the kind of disruption that would help cryptocurrencies. But that'll also take years to play out. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about years because we're going to be looking ahead a couple of years as a follow-up to the 4-year cycles that I was talking about the other night. But this is all good news for cryptocurrency, good for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and a lot of others. Dogecoin's price increased more than 3% within 24 hours. That was this morning. It just kept going up. Bitcoin was up 9%. Doge was up about 6%, and Doge is still going up. Here we are, 775, which is still up over 1% on, or just over the past hour, still up. So that's good. We may see a little retracement here. We'll see. The price of Dogecoin, 7.6. This was this red line that I had from back here in on the 15th. And that was saying that would be resistance. And we did hit that resistance this morning, early this morning, came down and then came up over the resistance, came down and back tested it, and now going up. That's typically what we see when we see green in the market. We'll see it back test resistance and move up. That's what it's doing right now. So we'll see whether that can maintain that 7.6 cent resistance and keep moving up. We'll keep an eye on that. And here is Dogecoin. Dogecoin price up 6%. That's how much it was today. Elon Musk and Doge founder, that's Billy Marcus, taking jabs at Jim Cramer, the CNBC Mad Money guy. Because what did Jim say last week? He would be selling Bitcoin into this rally. That's what he said. Selling Bitcoin into this rally. And what does Bitcoin look like in this rally? Unbelievable. So he said it somewhere around here. And look what Bitcoin has done since Jim Cramer said he would be selling Bitcoin into this rally. Bitcoin has gone up 25% since Jim Cramer said that. It's just like, oh my God. So the inverse Cramer is in effect, and that's basically what Elon said, because Billy had sarcastically tweeted out, Jim Cramer is good at his job. And Elon replied, the force is strong with the inverse Cramer. It's just hilarious. So having fun with it, but still, you got to wonder how Jim Cramer just can keep saying these things. A lot of people watch him, though. He's got a successful show on CNBC, so there's that. And then we've got this Doge price surge after Dow embarks to meet Dogecoin dog Kobasu. That's right. Own the Doge on Twitter is undertaking a journey to Japan to meet the actual Doge and her mama. Would you want to join us for this 3.5-day magical meme adventure? Here's everything you need to know about the Doge pilgrimage. Hashtag meet the Doge. So Own the Doge is trying to get some people to go with them to Japan to meet Kobasu. So you can watch that on Twitter if you want. This wasn't the reason that Dogecoin went up, but it's a fun little Doge story, and I keep you guys up to date on what's going on in the Doge world. So that was kind of interesting as well. So Dogecoin 778, holding strong. Look at that move up that we've had over the past few days. Very strong. We will see whether Doge and all of cryptos keep that upward momentum through the weekend. Now, let me check what's going on in the chat here before we get into looking at the 4-year cycles in 2025. Hey, Jason, welcome. Good to see you. Taylor here. You updated your name. You're ETH.3N. Okay, ETH. I won't remember Taylor. So ETH it is, because that's what you got here. This bull run, will it keep going up over the weekend, Kyle? Well, that is the question, isn't it? Without the trading going on, without banks going under, I think we're going to probably see the cryptocurrency market settling somewhere and maybe doing some sideways action. It's not going to keep up this high volume that we've had this week of trading. I think we're going to see the volume settle down to what we had over here. So I think that's going to come down a little bit. So we'll see, but that's kind of what I think is going to be going on. Hayden, thanks for catching the live stream. Appreciate it, Jim Cramer. Yeah. The Cramer coin shot up 20%. Whoever made that, that's funny. Just wondering what's up with the Ethereum spike in price. It's just following. Only boomers listen to Cramer. Yeah, Joshua, how you doing? ETH is just following the market. It's just going with the market. ETH isn't doing any spectacular spikes in price that are any different than what else is going in the market. So it's just all the major cryptos are trading well. And what we saw with Bitcoin was the Bitcoin dominance was moving up pretty quickly up to 47. And then once it hit 47, let me go back to the 30-minute time frame here. Once it came up and it hit 47, it was like, okay, that's good enough. Now it's altcoin time, and the alts follow. So when the alts follow, you see the red on the Bitcoin dominance, which is down to 46.5% now, as we see a lot of the altcoins taking off more, which includes Ethereum and Doge and Aptos and Phantom and others that are trading very well. So ETH Classic too, Joshua. That's right. ETH Classic was pumping today. Look at this. ETH Classic. Look at that. Big green candles for ETH Classic. So that could be Barry Silbert too, helping to pump it, because he's got to make some money somewhere, because he lost a lot last year. And I know he's got a lot of ETH Classic, and I think he's talked a lot of other people into buying ETH Classic as well. So, but yeah, big green candles on ETH Classic there. Yeah, I was watching that earlier, but now it's just even more, just going up. Now, you tell me, guys, are we in a bear market? Are we still in a bear market? Not in crypto. I think the stock market may still be in a bear market, but not crypto. So we were talking about 7.8 cents now for Doge. It came up to 7.83. Very good. So we were talking about 4-year cycles the other night, because a lot of people were asking about the Bitcoin halving coming up and what's going to happen with Bitcoin and Dogecoin. And I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the 4-year cycles. If you're interested in the details on the 4-year cycles and how I look at them, watch the video on my channel on the live stream tab from a few days ago, and watch that, because that I laid that out with all the charts and the graphs. And one of them was this overall Bitcoin chart. So let me go to that, because this is what we were talking about when we were on the stream, was looking at what could Bitcoin possibly do. And this is all-time Bitcoin, going all the way back to 2011 here. And what Bitcoin has done is it's hit all-time highs every 4 years. All-time highs have been hit. And there have been dips that have been every 4 years, which are the bear markets. And so I went into detail on all of this, and that coincides with the halving, the Bitcoin halving that's going on. Every 4 years, the rewards to miners gets cut in half. It slows down the distribution of new Bitcoin. And that happens every 4 years. So The next halving is going to be where this white circle is, which is going to be sometime in March of 2024, about a year from now. We're going to have this next halving. Typically, a year before the halving, we're just coming out of a bear market. Then we have the reset year, and then we have the bull market. That's what I showed on the graph. So what does that mean for Dogecoin? Well, we can look at what some other people's predictions are for Dogecoin. And we've got this from Traders Union. They've revised their Dogecoin outlook. Doge is one of the most popular cryptocurrencies, initially created as a joke, more to make fun of the whole cryptocurrency space. And Billy Marcus still talks about that to this day. Doge runs on its own dedicated blockchain. We talked about that last night. Doge is a proof of work cryptocurrency, has its own blockchain. It's not the same as SHIB or these other tokens, these other meme tokens, because they don't have their own blockchain. But Dogecoin does. So Doge is a coin, not a token. This digital coin can be mined. Cryptocurrency not used much for online payments. It does not have a payment infrastructure at physical points of sale. Therefore, its price is mostly determined by supply and demand, as well as popularity on social media. Although we think this online payment thing is just going to continue to increase over time, and that helps Dogecoin. To determine whether to hold Doge or to sell it, traders first need to learn short, medium, and long-term Doge price predictions. According to an analysis performed by these Trader Union experts, the average coin prices predicted December of 2023, 12.6 cents. 12.6 cents. That's actually about where I predicted Doge would be in December of 2023. I might have said 16. I'll have to go back and look at that video. I don't even remember now. December of 2026, though, 36 cents. They're saying 36 cents here in 2026. So in 2025, it's probably something less than 36 cents is what they're guessing. Personally, I think we can do better than that. But they've got December of 2030 up to $1.21, and by 2035, Dogecoin is $2 a coin. I like that, but just not in 2035, $2 a coin. This means that Dogecoin's price is expected to rise in the future. Therefore, if you decide to sell this cryptocurrency now, you may have to consider it as an investment asset in the future. Oh, you'd just be buying in at a higher price if you wanted to get back in. So that's their prediction. Now we have another one, which was ChatGPT, and I showed this a couple weeks ago. We talked about this one. What does ChatGPT say? Right? Is the price of Dogecoin in the future? And they asked what its price will be in 2030, and so they came up with. And I won't get into all the details here. There was this chart. 2023 would end at about 13.28 cents, 2024, 15.96, 2025, 17 cents. So they're talking 17 cents in 2025. But by 2030, they're only at 28 cents. So that would be Dogecoin just merrily kind of trading along without any catalyst, without any big spikes, just being a generally traded cryptocurrency with nothing going on. How many of you think that that's what's going to play out? Nothing going on. I don't think so. Is 229% a good return on your investment over the next 7 years? Yeah, probably. That'd be okay. But I think it's going to do better. And so what I was saying the other night when we were talking about the 4-year cycles was if Bitcoin and Dogecoin stay in the same percentage of each other. In other words, if they trade together, and we'll just start with that. If they trade together, what I was predicting for the end of 2025, which is this yellow line, this yellow curve here, and this yellow curve represents the all-time high. So we had 69K, the all-time high in November of 2021, right? So in 4 years, November of 2025, we would have a price of Bitcoin at about $180,000. So we're talking $180,000 as the next all-time high of Bitcoin. So we'll call that the end of 2025, $180,000. So we just did the math, right? So we look at the math and we say Bitcoin's price right now is, just do a quick calculation again, see if it's close to what we had the other night. 180,000 divided by 27,512, which is the current price. That's about a 6.5x. 6.5x from here. We calculated the other night, Bitcoin was a little lower, and we were calculating more. It was over 7, I recall. But Dogecoin's got a higher price too now. So we'll see how this plays out. So we got 6.5 is Bitcoin will go up 6.5 times. That's 650% from now to the end of 2025. So what does that mean for Doge? Well, if we multiply that by 0.0784, which is the current price of Dogecoin, we've got Dogecoin at 51 cents. 51 cents would be the price of Doge. That's a 650% rise from the price of Dogecoin today. 51 cents. Are you guys happy with 51 cents in 2 years for Doge? I think a lot of people would be, but there are a lot of people that bought Dogecoin at 50, 60, 70 cents back in 2021. And we know that with Doge, we look at the Doge chart, and let me get this back into auto. We look at the Doge chart and we're like, Doge has already been there. Oh yeah, here's the blue line I drew, right? 51.75 right there. That's the target for the year 2025, 51.75. Doge has already been at that level. Bitcoin hasn't been at 180,000 before, though. In fact, Bitcoin hasn't even been to 100,000 yet. But yet, in 2 years, 2.5 years, Dogecoin is only going to reach a level that it's already been at. Do you know what changes the equation on that? What I call a catalyst, some big event. What did we have here? We had all of this excitement of Dogecoin as the meme coin with Elon and expectations of Doge going to $1, a lot of frenzy of just people buying and buying and buying. That's going to happen again. Is it going to happen to this level? Maybe. And we don't know what it's going to be that's going to be pushing that so much. We don't know what that's going to be yet. Could it be Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter, or something else that we don't know? But it's going to be something. That's going to be great for Doge. And we know Doge can run like that because we've seen it before. I think Doge is going to have a hard time probably getting over this level because as soon as Doge starts trading up 60, 70 cents, you're going to have a lot of people selling because they're not going to chance it doing what it did last time. So that's what I see. Low roller, there's an upset in March Madness. Who lost? Which number 1 seed lost? I got to check my brackets. Let me know who lost. See if my bracket is screwed. Purdue. I don't think I even picked Purdue for Final Four. So I think I'm okay with my Final Four. I did, because I did not have all 4 number ones going to the Final Four, and I think Purdue was not one of them, because they just have that one big guy, from what I could see. So no more perfect brackets. Yeah. Kind of figure, right? A 15 seed and a 16 seed win in the first round. Nobody would predict that. So kind of fun to watch, though. We'll see. I usually end up somewhere in the middle, in like the 50% range every year when I do my brackets. So we'll see how that plays out. But I did not have Purdue in the Final Four. So far, so good there. What else is going on? AMR, hoping for $2 in 2025. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. 8 cents before the stream is over. I can't end until Doge is at 8 cents. 7.81. That'd be great if it hit 8 cents tonight. It's gotten over its resistance here. So next stop is 8 cents. That's the next resistance level. So let's go Doge. Let's go Doge. What's Bitcoin doing? 27,435. Bitcoin's turning around a little bit here. So it might be hard for Doge to keep going up. But so far, we've got these green candles. Sometimes they can diverge, Doge going up while Bitcoin's going down. We could see that. Hey, Hayden, people might want to refuge in BTC if more regional banks fail. The word's getting out there. More people are hearing it. Bitcoin is the store of value. Excuse me while I have my beverage. Happy St. Patrick's Day to those that weren't here at the beginning. Crypto for the win. We're in a waiting market. You think it's not a bull or a bear, but we're waiting? It could be. New face, hello. Cryptocurrency gold GDX prices been rising high today. Speculating people been transferring their capital too. Yeah, we saw gold, right? 1988 now for gold. Gold's about to hit 2,000. Look at that gold. Look at that gold chart. Yeah, banks aren't doing so well. Money, just currency isn't doing so well. But cryptocurrency and gold, another sign that traditional banking is just not going to last. I know there's a huge population out there that still will continue to rely on traditional banking. But we're going to see the same thing with cars, with electric vehicles versus gas-powered. The gas-powered vehicles are slowly going to go away. And there'll probably be some that will stick around, some sport cars, things like that, and they'll become kind of a fun thing. But trying to find gas for them is going to become hard. The whole infrastructure is going to just all turn electric. We could see the same thing in banking. And we know CBDCs are probably coming. United States is going to introduce this FedNow program in the summer, which is going to be a way for people to make their government payments directly through some kind of digital transfer. Don't know quite how that exactly is going to work yet, but it's kind of laying the groundwork for a digital dollar or CBDC in the United States. We know China is already doing it. And a lot of other countries are exploring their own CBDCs. So that does look like that's going to be the future in many countries. But there are many countries where it's going to be Bitcoin. As I'm looking at the gold, switch it back here. It's going to be cryptocurrencies, right? Because they're not going to be making their own country digital currencies. We know El Salvador has already done it. A lot of other countries talking about it, embracing Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. The Algorand blockchain is being used in El Salvador in support with Bitcoin. That's just going to continue to grow, I think. So we'll see how that happens. Bitcoin's going to pump until 60% dominance, and then the altcoin. I think it's going to have a tough time getting over 50. Is my guess. I know Ben Cowan has been talking about Bitcoin going up higher. If you watch into the cryptoverse, which I catch every now and then, but I do see his updates on Twitter, and he's very excited with Bitcoin dominance. But as we said earlier, Bitcoin dominance came up to 47%, and then the altcoins started catching up, and we're going to have this altcoin season is already happening on a number of coins, and we'll see how many of them start to gain, really strong market value. I think what we see in the top 20 now and let's look at the coin market cap. We see a lot of coins in the top 20 here. Some of these are going to drop out, and they're going to get replaced by other strong coins that are making really strong gains that could even disrupt the top 15 or top 10. So it's going to be fun to watch this next bull run on how the makeup of these top coins could completely change. I mean, Avalanche could become a top 10 coin very easily. We know SHIB is going to go on some big run at some point in time. Just like Doge is going to go on some big run. Remember when Doge was up at like number 5, number 4 back in 2021? That can happen again. And once you have that, you get just a lot of people piling on board, and then the Bitcoin dominance doesn't have a chance. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out. Thanks, Taylor. I'm keeping it real. That's what I do. I try. You get a lot of other YouTubers just talking about rockets to the moon, but I try and keep it real. There's some others who do a good job too. Dave Mitchell does a good job. There's some others, but there's some others that just aren't. I won't name names. I do have to be a little careful with what's going on with promoting things, though. I still have my exchanges here. And I've always said about these exchanges is that you use the exchanges to buy your cryptocurrency, and then you move them off into a hardware wallet, right? So that's what I've always said, and I keep saying it. And some use a soft wallet. I don't recommend the Trust wallet or the MetaMask wallet. I just think that still opens you up to scams. So be careful. There's a lot of hackers out there that are very, very good, but they're not going to get into my ledger because it is disconnected. So that's what I say. These are the exchanges that I use. I'm not promoting them because they're paying me. In fact, I get relatively little from them. If you sign up for one of these exchanges using my link, I might get $5 or $10 or something, and you as well. You'll get free stock, $10 a Bitcoin if you do Coinbase using my link. I don't know what the current Webull promotion is if you want to join Webull, but these are the 4. There's only 5 I have. I've got these 4, and then I've got the Ledger, and I got a link for Ledger below as well. And I get a little affiliate income if somebody uses my link to buy a Ledger. I get a little bit there too. But I do it not to make a lot of money, but to help you guys out if you're looking for what exchange to use or where to store your crypto. That's what I have. I've got the ledger and I've got these exchanges. That's it. That's all I use. Never was into Celsius or Voyager, didn't believe those projects. I looked at FTX. They seem to have a really good exchange, a lot of liquidity in it. But those earn programs, I was like, I'm out, and creating their own tokens like they were big red flags to me. So I never joined up with FTX to be, to shill FTX and get some affiliate income with them because I didn't believe in it. So I didn't do it. So we got Robinhood, Binance.us, Coinbase, and Webull. That's what I use. And I have crypto on all of these. Additionally, I have stocks on Webull and I've got stocks on Robinhood. But then I have an Exodus wallet that I don't show for safety reasons, but I just use the app on a computer, not on a phone. I don't have anything on my phone except the Robinhood and Webull apps I have on my phone. But they've got two-factor authentication, so I feel pretty safe about those. But I don't use wallets on my phone. I use the Exodus and I use the Ledger. So that's what I've got. And it'll take a lot for someone else to come along. I mean, I get emails all the time from these companies, asking me to support them, shill them. And I'm just like, nope, I don't do it. I don't do it. Yep, BitBoy's in this lawsuit with Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, Andre Zick. But, Ben says he didn't shill FTX. So, and, looking at, I kind of believe him. I don't think he should have been lumped in. So I think this class action, group of attorneys and people who put him in there made a big mistake. And he says he's going to countersue and all this stuff. We'll see how all that plays out. But I don't know. It certainly looks bad, right? When you've got someone with the following like Andre and Graham have, and they were actively promoting FTX and making hundreds of thousands of dollars with some kind of deal with FTX to openly shill them and then not tell the people what kind of relationship you have with FTX. Again, it kind of stinks that nobody knew really what was going on with FTX behind the scenes. So it's hard to fault them for that, but they were going for the easy money. So hard to say what sort of liability there is or not, even though they say like not financial advice, which I say it's too. When I'm doing all these shows, I've got my disclaimer and I always say that we're just kind of having fun together, looking at the charts and, and talking about where the price can go in the future, looking at the news and what's going on. But I tell you guys when I make my purchases and what I'm doing, but I don't say you need to do this or you should do that, because that's up to you. I don't know how much money you guys have and what your financial, situations are. But I tell you what I'm doing. And I was buying crypto 2 weeks ago because I'm not in that camp that thinks Bitcoin is dropping to $12,000. And there's still people out there who've got a ton of cash sitting on the sidelines and they've missed out on this epic run. I go to the daily here and we go all the way back to December. And what is Bitcoin's percent increase in price from the 1st of January to now? 65%. So those that were sitting on this huge chunk of cash back here at the beginning of the year, thinking Bitcoin which then was at like 16,500, going down to 12,000. So they didn't buy any. They were convinced it was going down, and they missed out on this whole run. I bought some there. I bought some at this dip. Not Bitcoin. I was buying altcoins. I bought on this dip, and then I bought in this most recent dip. And I used up the rest of my buying power all right here. And I showed you guys where all of that was and what I was buying, including Dogecoin, and where I was buying Doge. Got all my little green circles here where I was buying Dogecoin. So I'm in it. I don't think we're going down. I mean, all of that was going on, January to February with rising interest rates and inflation and all of that FUD. And it's like cryptocurrency. Yeah, there were a few drops, but look at it, just traded right back up. I feel bad. People dumped Robinhood crypto, transferred it to Voyager. Robinhood's still alive. Yep. That whole Voyager thing, low roller, as soon as I saw that, I was like, nope, not doing it. I don't think YouTubers not going in prison promoting FTX. BitConnect promoters didn't go to prison last year. Yeah, that whole BitConnect thing, that was a Ponzi scheme. I mean, that was a real Ponzi scheme that BitConnect was. The only way you could buy any was if you joined their cult. It's like, yeah, that was a Ponzi. I remember Bitcoin waiting for $1,000 drop. Never happened. 2018, 2020. Yeah, George. Yeah, I think George learned a lot back then. I wasn't following him then, but I've heard stories and I hear him now, and it's like, yeah, I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. So, keeps things interesting though, doesn't it? It's always something going on. So here's Doge 773, just hanging out now. So what are we going to see over the weekend? I think we're going to be in this range probably. We'll see whether Doge back test 760, may drop below. We'll see whether that happens. I don't foresee any huge dips over the weekend. I think we had enough of that going on last weekend. But I mean, this is crypto, right? You don't know. ETH is staying up high, 1823 now for ETH. It had a nice little green candlestick here. So that's pretty strong for ETH. SHIB had a little run here. And the Bone token, for those who are interested in Bone, it seems to be making a comeback here. So even despite what's going on with BitPoy, like doxing the original creator of the Shiba Inu token, it's like, who cares? Doesn't matter. He's left the scene. There's a whole development team that's promoting it, and you got a bunch of big ETH whales that own trillions of SHIB. And it's going to go on another run at some point in time. So I bought some SHIB to be on board that next run, whatever that is. What else is popping? Solana, $22 Solana. Look at that. It's a nice little pop for Solana. What else? Litecoin. Litecoin making a little run here to $87. And then there's Ethereum Classic up to $22. Yeah, Jason. BitConnect. Craziness. Won't see anything like that again. Optimism making a run, $2.83. So we've got some good movement in alts going on here. Where's Bitcoin dominance? It's under 46.5 now. So some altcoins are making some moves. That's what we got going on. All right, gang. So that's what we've got. Looks like, looking ahead in the future, it looks bright. And with Doge, again, it's going to be some wild ride, something over the next couple years that we're going to see with Doge. It's not just going to trade along with Bitcoin. There's going to be some big run. And so I got a lot of Doge now ready for that next run. And when that run happens, we're going to talk about how best to be taking some profits along the way, and still not miss out on future gains. So we'll be talking about that. Till then, as always, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give the stream a like. Certainly appreciate that. After the stream, I'll be putting the 24/7 chart back on for the Dogecoin Live charts. So always welcome to check those charts right here on YouTube. They're always on except for when I'm doing this live stream. So I'll be back 9 o'clock East Coast time, United States time, tomorrow night for more Dogecoin and crypto talk. So hope to join you then. Until then, have a good rest of your St. Paddy's Day. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.